Hey everybody. So yeah, Frostgrave. Thomas and I are going to be doing Frostgrave this weekend. So I needed to paint up a bunch of mana worms, and you know, one of the things that I love about Frostgrave is that it's totally like mini agnostic, where you can use whatever kind of minis you want to play with, you know, and it's like all the stuff that's in there. Bestiary, it's like it's not, they don't have their own minis for it, but they do make minis. Like North Star, I think, is the company that makes Frostgrave minis. But these mana worms they're described as they're only like 2 or 3 feet long with hundreds of small hairy legs, and they're attracted to magic and those who wield it. So obviously they go for casters. But they don't have any climbing penalties or penalties for moving over rough ground. But, you know, I need like 12 of them. That's the thing that drives me crazy about Frostgrave, is that they'll be like, oh, if you want to play by yourself, you need 9 mana worms. If you want to play co-op, then you need 12. So I had these guys that I painted. These are Reaper like giant leeches, and they're cool, but I don't want 12 of them, you know. But like, I did find something in my pile of shame. I had some stuff, and I don't know where I got these. I cannot remember where I got these from. I think that they're from Wild West Exodus. I'm not positive, but I got them in a lot off of eBay, and they're from some kind of like a starter kit. I think it's Wild West Exodus, but I'm not positive. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to paint these guys because they're mana worms. I wanted to paint them like mana worms from World of Warcraft. If you ever played a Blood Elf, and you killed a lot of mana worms, you just don't remember it. So anyways, yeah, let's paint some glowing mana worms. Okay, so got a bunch of these are giant maggots. These guys, I don't even know what these guys are. I got these off eBay. I think they're from Wild West Exodus. I'm not sure, can't exactly remember, but they're going to be my mana worms. And I decided that these guys are going to be like the larval form, and then I have some like giant leeches that are going to be like the mid form. Definitely need a lot of these guys. So anyways, for the giant maggots, I'm actually going to go for a like maggot paint job. These guys just hatched and they haven't grown their wings yet. They aren't, you know, turning into pretty mana flies yet. So I'm going to mix up some Vallejo Model Air, let's see, dark brown. I'm working dark to light. Just going to add a little bit of airbrush thinner to that. The Vallejo Model Air doesn't need to be thinned out a lot. I just feel like it needs to be thinned out a little bit. Okay, and the Hobby Town by me just started carrying AK Interactive. So I got a few colors and I want to experiment with them. So I'm just going to dump this back out. Might do a little quick change. Actually, I'll just dump that back into the cup and then this thing and remix it. So I'm going to use some of this luminous flesh. I'm curious to see how this stuff goes through the airbrush. I've never used it. Heard good things. Looks good so far. Alright, yeah, definitely a fan. It goes through the airbrush really well, really smooth. I'll definitely be getting some more. I'm gonna try and do some dry brushing with this. Just gonna use a soft makeup brush. Definitely has a very matte finish, which I like. That's one of the things that I've heard about the AK stuff, is that it has a very ultra matte finish, which I like. You know, Vallejo, and not as big of a fan of Citadel because a lot of times their colors dry glossy to me. And I'm gonna do a little bit of some two-brush blending just to make some like high key highlights on these guys. Just very specific places. So I've got one kind of fine brush. I'm going to put down color with that one in some spots. And then I'm going to blend it out with the other brush. Oh no, too opaque. That's bright. So because these guys are really wrinkly, I'm trying to define those wrinkles. So I just put down some color and kind of fan it out, blend it out. Put a little bit of water in the brush, grab some color. Don't want a ton of, a big glob of paint at the tip, but I want some actual pigments. Alright, these guys are looking sufficiently gross and maggoty. So I'm going to do a little bit of Reichland flesh shade on top of these guys. And I was just talking about how the Citadel colors dry kind of glossy. It's fine on these because I want them to look slimy. Got a good sized brush. Just gonna slop it on, and then that's just gonna kind of blend all of that brushwork together and kind of smooth it out and redefine the little, fleshy folds. And if it dries glossy, that's fine. Okay, so that's how these guys are looking now. And then that's good enough for now. I'm gonna paint their eyes, I think, a different color, and then might do some more basing stuff, but that's good enough for now. So I'm gonna set these guys aside and then go to work on these guys, my big mana worms. Okay, so first layer, I think I'm gonna do some kind of like dark blue shadow stuff, and then I'm going to use some of this Imperial Blue Game Air. It's going to be the first color. Mix up a lot more of that. Okay, now I'm going to start working into some lighter blues. Got some Flail Model Air Light Sea Blue. Just gonna mix that back in. Start working up. Alright, and now I'm going to start going into some of this Game Air Squid Pink. And I think that that's going to be, I don't need that much. Just going to, when I mix my paint, I dump everything, I do a quick change, I dump everything out, the color out, and then I add color, to mix the new color. So I don't need all of that. I'm going to dump out some of that. Okay. So I do want a transition color, but it's like it turns into this never-ending thing where it's just more and more paint. Alright, there we go. It's looking good. Nice kind of pinkish purple. Ugh. Alright, so that's going to be it for the airbrush layer. And then I'm going to come back in and do some brush work on stuff. I really like this color though. This is an awesome color, this squid pink. So I think I will come back in with that and do some like edge highlighting stuff with this. I want them to look like they're sort of have magical energy coming off of them. So, yeah, time for brush work. Alright, everybody's nice and dry. And when you're airbrushing, do make sure that you let everything dry before you touch it with a brush, because you can just rip up, any wet paint with the brush. So I'm just going to keep going with the these colors. I'm going to do some highlights. Do some more two brush blending. Got some eldritch green and some squid pink. So I just want these guys to look like there's just mana, coursing through them. So the Vallejo, the Game Air and Model Air, you can totally paint with it with a brush. There's no reason why you can't. It's actually really nice to paint with. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit of edge highlighting kind of stuff, and then feather it out with the brush, with the clean brush. This is actually what P3, what they're made for, is doing two brush blending, this stuff. I mean, you would get this brush wet and then have a dry brush, or when you see Dallas do it on his on P3 on their channel, he keeps one brush in his mouth and then uses another brush to paint with, and then blends it out with both brushes. It's funny because as he's talking the whole time, he has one paintbrush in his mouth. So with this stuff, it's a lot thicker. So I want to get my brush a little bit wet. Just make a smooth little feather with the other brush. Add a little bit of purple or this blue violet to my palette. Just want to kind of break up. I don't want them all to be the same color like these wings. I want them to be kind of like leathery. But I don't want them to, or I don't want them to be all pink. I want the shadows to be a different color, you know. I've got that blue in there for like the deeper set shadows, but I also want some purple and some pink. Lots and lots of mana. And like, I'm not even really being too careful keeping it out of the little gutters, you know, in here, because I'm gonna put a wash on this after I do this brushwork, you know, to kind of make everything smooth and like blend together. Alright, so I'm done doing all of my brushwork on these guys, and but I mean, you can see like kind of rough with some of the brushwork. So what I want to do now is just kind of soften everything out, and I'm going to use some of this Game Wash Flesh Wash. Just kind of like a reddish purple kind of color, but it's gonna make you know, all those ridges kind of pop out and stuff, like soften everything, make all of my brushwork look a little softer. I'm using a watercolor brush to do this. This is actually squirrel hair. You know, obviously you don't need a nice like watercolor brush to do washes with, like squirrel hair, but it is nice. And I'm just sort of tossing it on all over. I'll just do a dry brush on the base when I'm done. Oh, jeez. So the wash isn't totally dry on all these guys. Let me find one that's like mostly dry. dry. But that's what that looks like. And then I think I just want to do some last little kind of like pop highlights. Use some of this verdigris glaze model color. It's one of my favorite colors. But I just, this guy's got to be like shiny. I want him to look sort of like betta fish or something. So I'm just going to do some kind of like tippy top highlights with this stuff. Alright, and now to do these bases, I've already got a lot of airbrush kind of overspray that's like blue, so I think I'm just going to be a little bit lazy, and I'm just going to make it look like they're sort of glowing, like the rocks are kind of glowing. Let's see. I'm just going to use a blue and then kind of dry brush that around and make it look like they're throwing off some light. Use a small makeup brush. Yeah, I like it. That's fine. Alright, that's going to be it, you guys. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and welcome to all my new subscribers. If you liked the video, if you like my content, consider dropping a like or subscribing. I'm kind of curious about these, like the like longer form videos where I just talk and talk and talk. You guys seem to like those videos more. Let me know. You watch till the end, so let me know if you like the videos where I just talk and talk and talk for like an hour, or if you like the edited kind of super cuts a little better. Anyways, yeah, Thomas and I are going to be doing the next part of Perilous Dark to this weekend, so the video should be up soon. And yeah, so take care of yourselves and stay safe and stay sane till the next time that I see you.